task A01, which is event registration, processing registration, and the task is to highlight the incorrect and incomplete info in events that have registered. So the first thing we do is log into the Gmail account. The access for this, the login and password, will be given to you directly. Do not share it with anybody. Don't leave it lying around. Please. Thank you. Awesome. Next, you're going to go to the upper left-hand corner in the Gmail, click on Documents. A new tab will open up. Find the document labeled TTW 2009 Event Registration. Click on that. It will open in another new tab. Now in here is all the information for all the events, very private, confidential, and must be kept secure. This is precious. This is our gold. So please don't share it, don't print it, don't sell it, don't copy, don't leave it open on a public computer or any other crazy misdemeanor kind of thoughts that you might have. They'd be like, ooh, this is funny. No, keep it safe. All the information gets entered here. If you remember from when you filled out your registration, you filled out all those boxes. Well, all of those boxes translate to a horizontal list of that information. New events get added to the bottom of the list automatically. So the most recent event that was registered is from Madrid, Spain. You'll notice that the first two boxes are left blank. And that's because those are filled in by us, by myself, or by you. The first one is notes/problems. This is where you write in, the website was incorrect, the email didn't work, there's a phone number missing, etc. And we'll go through those things. First thing you have to fill out, though, is their event ID. So you look at the one above and you make it the next number, chronological, numerical, 30180. Okay? Now we check the country. Occasionally you get a goofball entry and people make up countries or they make up planets or whatever. That whole entry, delete. But here it says Spain. Awesome, that's legit. Here's the one thing that comes up with countries. Is sometimes, two things actually. Sometimes people speak other languages, so they write the country in their language. You need to figure out what it is in English, because all of the headquarter operations are in English. The next thing is the United Kingdom. Let's find, do I have a United Kingdom entry? Oh, here's, here, Wales, UK. Excellent. Now, it should actually just say Wales, because the UK, United Kingdom, is made up of 4 countries. So nowhere under nation should it say United Kingdom. It should say either England, Scotland, Wales, or Northern Ireland. Ireland, or Republic of Ireland, is a separate country. Nowhere does it say United Kingdom. Now once you've checked that, you gotta check state and province. If they're United Kingdom, they don't need a state or province. This is only for USA, Canada, Australia, and maybe Russia, but every other country doesn't need a state or province. Then the city. Okay, now you go through, usually the city's fine. Oh, here's what happens with cities. Sometimes people put one city / another city. So, for example, I live in Kitchener-Waterloo, or it might be a dash. It has to be one or the other. It can't be both. It's either Kitchener or it's Waterloo, so they have to pick one. Make sure that the first name looks legit, that the last name looks legit. They have to agree, which is the next column, so all of them will say yes. Then you get to private event or public event. It has to be one or the other. Sometimes people select both or they leave it blank. If they select both or leave it blank, you have to highlight the cells and then go up here to a little box that has 4 colors in it. Click on the down arrow and select the bright yellow. It'll make it yellow. This is how you let me know and anyone else looking at this document that anything highlighted yellow is a problem. It's incorrect or incomplete. Something needs to be changed. Okay? The next thing to take a look at is the email address. Here's what often happens with the email address, or here's how it has to be. Oh, this is good. So first thing is occasionally you'll get a googlemail.com. This is legit as long as they're from the UK, which is Wales, England, Scotland, or Northern Ireland, because for some reason they can't access a Gmail account. So Google Mail is fine for them. Now every single message must start with TTW09. It can have a period after that, an underscore, a dash, whatever, but it must have TTW09. Any other variation, not acceptable, so you have to highlight it And anything you highlight, you make a note of here in column A. So you write email address incorrect, must have TTW09, whatever the thing is. Okay, so two things. You highlight the problem, and then you make a note. If you have to highlight more than one thing, add the notes into the box, but be careful that you don't type over top of what you wrote. So you have to double-click in the box so the little cursor shows up, and then you can add on to what you were typing. Alright, so back to the Gmail address. Right, so TTW09, whatever comes after TTW09 has to relate to their location, so be it city, state, country, township, neighborhood, street, or venue. Any of those are fine. Or has to relate to whoever's hosting the event. So if my business is hosting the event, I can do TTW09 mybusiness@gmail.com, but I can't do TTW09 Ines. Anything to do with personal reference, personal names, that, or something silly like TTW Monkeyhead. Unless Monkeyhead is the name of your club, it does not count. So you highlight it, make a note, it's not a good email. Okay, next thing is password. You really don't need to do anything with that. That's just for backup. Sometimes people lock themselves out of their account. The next thing is web page. Now this has to be checked. You have to select the box, copy the box, Control-C, open up a new tab, so you can't see my cursor, it's off the screen. Open up a new tab and paste it into the URL box at the top. Hit enter. Test the page. If something comes up, it looks like it was created for TTW, for Thrill the World, great. Here's the main things with the website. The URL must have any of the following: TTW, TTW09, Thrill09, Thrill the World, or some variation of Thrill the World TTW, okay? It has to have that in the URL. Now it can be at the beginning or it can be at the end. So if I have my own website, inessence.com, I can make a page that says inessence.com/TTW. That's legit. I cannot just put inessence.com, because people are going to want to sign up for the Thrill event through the Thrill the World main site. They're going to click on the link, they'll be like, it's a business, I don't get it. That's fine if you want to promote your business, but you have to make a separate page for the Thrill the World event, and it has to be in the URL. Now, let's find a website that doesn't work. So here's a bad one, ilovemike.com. Sorry, whoever that is, but it has to have /TTW at the end. You have to have a separate page. Sometimes people make MySpace accounts that have a series of numbers to identify the page. Not acceptable. Sometimes they make MySpace accounts that are private, or Facebook accounts. Not acceptable. They can do that separately, but they have to have an event page that anybody can view. Sometimes they enter the information incorrectly, like this one just says ttw09.portobelloeast.com. It doesn't have a www, it doesnn't have an http://. It's incorrect. Sometimes the websites just won't exist, so you'll type a URL and it'll say address does not exist, page cannot be found. Any of those, problem. You have to go back to column A, type a note, and explain why what's wrong with the website. Missing TTW in the URL name, no Thrill content on the page does not exist, must create web page, Facebook doesn't count, that kind of thing. One more thing with the website is it doesn't have to have content on it yet because they just registered. As long as the URL contains TTW and the page works, that's fine. Now this one, they've spent some extra time before they registered. They put a picture, they got the logo. This is great, but this is above and beyond. There doesn't have to be any content, it just has to exist and the link work and the URL be correct. I'm going to stop now. We're going to watch part 2 of task A1.